Amar la'achshir shchita machshir. You're thinking that blood is the only sheres. Tashma v'shibor omer. Blood of a dead body does not make it able to be mekabel tuma. What are they trying to make a dead body mekabel tuma? Avais, father of tuma. That's how they call it. The most tuma. You know, we have an ava tuma. It's even more than a oner. Is the av. But the source of tuma itself is the dead body, the aviavos, the granddad tuma. Tuma. The granddaddy of dirt, the grandfather of filth. It's the aviavos of tuma. My love. So what are they talking about? A dead body and the blood is going to make it. Oh, the blood is a liquid, and midirabanan, the liquid comes back if it touches a sheni, and the liquid becomes a oner, it jumps up, and this is like a derabanan thing in liquid. What are they? Eno Machshir says Rabbi infer from there that the blood of shchita. So good, I would have thought to say. Mali katlei male katlei malchamaves. What's the difference if that guy killed him? What's the difference if guy killed him? What's the difference if the angel of death killed him? If the angel of death killed him. What's the difference if that guy kills him? What's the difference if the Yitzhahara kills him? What's the difference if the Satan kills him? What's the difference if the angel of death kills him? All the same people. All the same people. But they're saying, but what's the difference? But they're saying, but what's the difference if you can't lay? And what's the difference if someone else kills him? Ta. Right, so Kamash Balan, that no, there's a difference. Ta. Right, so Kamash Balan, that no, there's a difference. We have difference. We have to see what's going on. It's talking about animals, talking about a person. Who kills the guy? If it's like, let's see, Tashma guy. If it's like, let's see, Tashma, going in the air, going in the air, Tashma. Rabbi Shimon Omer, Rabbi Shimon says, Da, Rabbi Shimon says, Da Magafazai, the blood of. I don't know what that means. So we guess here blood. Eno machshir. It doesn't bring something into the Torah's Tumah and Tara. My love, isn't it? Hadam shchita machshir is machshir. But wait a second, that's against the Beferish Mishnah. Our Mishnah. Lo says the word. No, it's not the right inference. Hadam chalalim machshir. The blood of the corpse is machshir. So we're talking about, wait a second, what's the difference? Oh, but the animal that was shechted. What's the din? What's the din? Lo machshir. Different kind of bloods. We don't eat any of them. But I'll tell you who does. The people at the Vatican. And they like to blame the K words. It's part of propaganda. Shalom Aleichem Avi Mayri. So a lot of different bloods. So dam shchita is machshir, but dam chol is not machshir. But dam cholol is machshir, but dam shchita not machshir. Lishma not machshir. Lishma'ina and dam shchita. So says the Gemara, just teach us the Indian of dam shchita, right? Teach us about dam shchita. Because again dam agafazo, and then all the more so, no, the blood of, I want to say his boots, but I don't think it's his boots. But why do I want to say boots? Maybe something else, but Dama gafaso is the no. We need to teach you dama gafaso specifically. Salgadai de chamina. I would have thought to say mali katle kula, male katle balga. What's the difference if I kill him completely or if he's killed halfway? Oh, gama gafaso maybe is maybe like someone like I don't know. And so you would think to say it's the same thing if I kill if a person is murdered or if a person is half murdered. Umayshna dan chalal. Corporations, corpse.
They only bleed green.
They only bleed green. Majna dan chalalim. What's the difference between the blood of the corpse? The machshir is machshir. Dichziv dam chalalim yishteh. Who knows what that was talking about? Hein, am kilavi yakum. They are lo yishkav ad yochal teref. They're not going to lay down until they eat teref. You could guess.
My guess would be that Moshe Rabbeinu said it.
This is in Bamidbar Chav Gimel Chav Dalet. If someone wants to get it. Oh, look at here. Handy dandy Tanach. Okay. My guess, Bilam. Bilam, but I'm also Bleiben. So let's see. Chav Gimel Chav Dalet. 23. This is Bilam's second bracha. If you try to curse Am Yisrael, it says, "V'charit nasa lo yishkav ad yochal teref v'dam chalalim yishteh." So that's what Bilam says. Vayomer Balak el Bilam. Balak says to Bilam, "Gam kovlos." Did you not curse them? Gam barech lo zivarchenu. You don't have to bless them. You know what are you doing? Vayan Bilam. Bilam answers Vayomer al Balak, and he says to Balak, "Halo dibarti elecha lemor." Didn't I tell you saying that if Hashem doesn't vilst it, it's not happening. You know, Bilam, the greatest magician, and you know, Bilam, even he knew Bilam, the greatest of the Sheba, and that what Abishur says goes, and they cannot lift a finger against their Bari. Even Bilam, that's what he says. Vayomer Balak al Bilam, and Balak says to Bilam, "L'chana ekachacha el makom acher." Let me give you a different place. Ulai yishar be'enei Elohim. Maybe Hashem will want them to be cursed there in a different place. Vayikach Balak al Bilam rosh hapeor. Takes him to Openei Shimon. Vayomer Bilam el Balak, and Bilam says to Balaam, Beneli vazeh shiva mizbechos. Make me 7 mizbechos. V'achein vazeh shiva turim, and bring 7 parim. 7 cows on this one, and 7 elim, and 7 rams. Vayaz Balak, kajer amar Bilam, and Balak did this like Bilam says. Vayal parva ayil b'mizbech, and he brought a parva ayil, cow and ram, on the mizbeach. Vayar Bilam, and he didn't go. Pam. Vayajes et hamidbar panav. Right? Vayisa Bilam as Einav. He picked up his eye, or his eyes. Vayaris Yisrael, and he saw Yisrael shochin l'shvatav, and they were resting to their shvatim. Yachad Shetei Yisrael. But Elav Ruach Elohim, speaking the man Shesuma Ayin, the guy who doesn't. What do they translate it here? Shesuma Ayin, uncovered eyes. There are different translations. Shesuma Ayin could mean, he had one eye open, one eye closed. He was a cyclops, and it could be that the eye on Bilam.
Wow.
Like we go back to Moshe Rabbeinu, and we say Moshe Rabbeinu, there was no one as great as him in Yisrael. And they say, you're right, but there was someone as great of a prophet as Moshe in the nations. And who is he? The eye guy. You know, the other guy.
When you said before, like the scenario where the Melech of Moab was like, not only did I hire you to curse them, I was thinking it was like Jerry Seinfeld saying it to Kramer, like as Billum, you know, like
Yeah, it's like you
it would
did
be
the worst possible thing.
a great
I
remake of
hear it.
Seinfeld.
I hear
Those
it.
guys.
What I was thinking about was something also interesting, which is that we learn from all of these korbanos that Balak put up, not lishma. He did these korbanos, not lishma, not l'shem shamayim. He didn't do that with the right intentions. He did to curse Am Yisrael. He wanted to do bad, but in the merit of these korbanos, Rus came out of because of, says the Gemara, a person should always yasok with Torah and mitzvos, even if it's not lishma, because of the schuz of all of these korbanos that Balak brought. He was zocha, and it came from him.
Wow.
So
So what is the do we understand what Hashem's process is there? Is he trying to bring merit to the Melech of Moab, or is he trying to remove from him the one nitzos of Tov so that he doesn't have any more merit? Like I don't understand. I don't know.
you're asking good questions.
Very deep stuff.
Me, what I say is I blibe very hard on that stuff. If you would ask Hashem this question, he would probably say, no, I'm kidding. That's over Vicky. But why tzaddik? Why good to bad? Right to Moshe Rabbeinu? We don't know. We're just okay, right? Why Hashem decided to do this from that? All we know is what state in Gemara, which is that in the schus of the korbanos of Balak, he was zochah that Rus came out of him, not lishma. Okay, so why do we want to see this? Because it says v'dam chalolim yishteh. It's talking about, so here's we have a pasuk that's talking about the blood of corpses. Now who's talking about eating the guy? You know, we got like a few lines in the Torah. He's like, yo, let's just make sure that they know that we drink blood. You know? Just in case there's ever any libels, it should be very easy to clarify who are the blood drinkers based on okay, great psukim. So dam chalalim yishta. Dam shchita nami ksiv. Dam shchita is also written. It says, Ala aret tishbechenu kemayim. On the land, spill it like
Water.
Wasser. Hahu mishri daman tipesule hamukdashin. This is lemishri. Who knows what lemishri means? This is already like I wouldn't necessarily ask you guys what lemishri meant back a year ago when we were doing Vodazar or something. It's a hard word. It's Aramaic.
Like it stems?
No. What does shari mean?
Like shari,
Shari means permissible.
Ah.
Shari means permissible. So lemishri. We need that to permit the blood of Pesule HaMukdashim. Pesule HaMukdashim. Someone takes kachim and it becomes impure. Be'ana. That's mutter though, be'ana. The blood is mitzvah be'ana. Asr be'ana, the blood. If a person does a bad korban, it becomes puzzle. The blood is not asr be'ana, but you can use it. To see what you use it for. Right? We're not talking about like the Bill Gates blood sausage special, you know? Diddy blood sausage special, extra sausage for Diddy. So be'ana, it's mutter be'ana. Hu de'aza, zagadai techamina. I would have thought to say, oh, ve'aziri be'giza. I can't. shear them. Never thought that I would say I can't shear them. Now, you're talking about the Great Pyramid of Giza, the place where gauze pads was created, either in Giza or Gaza. But here, Giza is to shear. V'avaida, they mean libai daman, their blood. Libai kavura, you should think that their blood, you need to bury it, spill it in the ground. Their blood. Kamash blood, with from here, you can actually use it. From here, you can actually use the blood. Tana debei Rabbi Ishmael. Rabbi Ishmael says a brisa, and he said, Vidam, chalalim yishteh, and the blood of corpses you will drink. When Balak said that, when Bilam said that, Vidam chalalim yishteh, Art Scroll says, drinks the blood of the slain. Yeah, chalalim, blood of the slain. Blood of the slain, blood of the slain, blood of the slain. Pratli dam kiluach. To the exception of blood that sprinkles out, that flows out, she'eno machshir as a zraim, that doesn't make the zraim, the seeds, roy l'kabel tuma. Okay. Now it's time to see Rashi. Now it is time to see Rashi. Let's see the Rashi on the Mishnah. It talked about Rabbi Shimon saying that the animal was royal to be Mekabel Tuma. From the fact that it was Mishnah, Rabbi Shimon Omer Shiru B'Shchita. And Zag Rashi Migo de Sharia Shchita. Says the Shchita, the Sharia. We just learned what that means. Shligs, what does it mean? The Sharia. We just learned it. Shari, permissible. Since the permissible, the Shchita made that passer permissible, it no longer Aver Menachai, so it assigns it that's also Ochla Ligabe Tuma. It's also considered food when it comes to Tuma. Okay. That was Rabbi Shimon. Hochshuru v'shchita. Amar Rav Azi, Omer Hay Rabbi Shimon, shchita za machshara so. The shchita machsharas. Shchitasan machsharasan. The shchita, that's what Rabbi Shimon says, shchita za machsharasan. V'lo dam, and not the blood. Shchita is machsharas, says Rashi, as a basar l'toma. And not blood. The blood, the shchita does, but the blood doesn't. So what's the question we can ask here? The shchita, the animal gets shechted. It's the shchita that makes its blood. The shchita that makes the animal mukhshar to mekabel toma, but not the blood. What's the nafkamina? Zalman, what does nafkamina mean? Good blind. Rivka, what's nafkamina?
What's the question?
the nafka. Okay, we'll say what are the? Let's translate the words nafka, which means to come out. Mina, to come out from it. What's the practical difference? Right? We're saying this animal that I just shechted, either the blood on it makes it kosher for Kabbalah Tuma, or the fact that I just shechted it makes it kosher for Kabbalah Tuma. The question is, what's the nafkamina? Who cares? What's the practical difference? None. It's dead. Well, what about this? What about if I shechted and no blood comes out? If I shechted and no blood comes out, so the guy who says that the shchita without the blood, right, makes it kosher from the Kabbalah Tuma. But the guy who says the blood without the shchita, so then it would be. So the nafkamina, says Rashi. What's the nafkamina? Very good. The practical difference. The practical difference, says Rashi. The ilu napal dam shchita al azraim. What if the blood of the shchita fell on some fruit? Lo ochsharu. They don't become liable to Mikabel Tuma. You have an apple, you do shchita, blood spritzes out, kosher to Mikabel Tuma yet. So the blood doesn't want to say below Adam. Oh, we can say a Messiah. We can say a helping statement for Rav Asi, who's telling a fruit that's disconnected, kosher for Mikabel Tuma. Rabbi Shimon Omer Hochsharu B'Shchita. Rabbi Shimon says in our Mishnah that they're Hochsher B'Shchita, the animal, Ma'ala B'Shchita V'lo B'Dam. V'lo B'Dam. And the Gemara can say, no, Af B'Shchita, no, lo, even with Shchita Zakdrashi, even Shchita Heka Delek Adam, Heka Delek Adam, where there's no blood, this is right. And if there's blood that spritzes out, it lands on an apple that's disconnected from a tree. You say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, but once it falls, it is ra'i to be mekabel tuma. To be l'chayra. Amar lahan Rabbi Shimon. Rabbi Shimon said to them, "B'chita machzir." Are you telling me that the blood is machzir? Lo shchita machzeres. Isn't it the shchita which makes it kosher? So that seems to be just like Rav Asi. Amar lahan. Damagir, I'll tell you that the shchita. V'chidam bilvad magzir. V'chidam magzir, isn't it the shchita magzir? It's hachig amar. This is what he said to them, Lan. V'chidam bilvad, you tell me that only blood is magzir? I'll tell you, af shchita nami magzeres. Shchita also magzir. Okay, come in here. Tashma, come and list in. This is actually a Mishnah in Machshirin, L'chayra, maybe a price in Machshirin. The Dama Maze, Behema. So it's not talking about a dead body, first of all. Avi Avos Toma. That's not what it's talking about. Dama Maze. That would make no sense, right? Talking about the blood of a dead body. The dead body itself is an Avi Avos. So his blood is also an Avi Avos. So what do you mean the Dama Mace? Says Rashi, Behema Shemesa Me'eleh. It's talking about an animal that just died. Poor animal, walking around. And so that's Dama Mace. And it's not Machshir. My love, so are we not supposed to infer from it that Dam Shchita is Machshir? And to the Gemara, no. You know? For example, it's almost to go like this and to say, and hit the animal, aka hunting. So can die.
That's it? Only three?
Three categories. You can split it up into three ways. Way one dies by itself. Way two, someone kills it. Way three, this is a tough one. Someone shechs it. Exactly. Someone shechs it. Very good. Okay, so we said on all of these are different. So the animal's blood has different laws, maybe depending on how the animal dies. Maybe the animal was born with it, and maybe it's labeling. Maybe it's labeling. Maybe he was killed. That's the and the inference is that the animal that was killed is machshir. Aval dam shchita, but dam shchita what? Not machshir. Lishma'ina on dam shchita. Then teach me only dam shchita. Then kosher gain dam amazing. I'll know even more so that dam shchita is not machshir. So the animal that just dies regular, all the more so. No, I can't infer that. Dam amazed, it's darichale. Dam amazed, that's what I needed it for. The difference if he shechts it and kills the animal? What if the angel of death comes and kills his animal?
Wasn't that the first category?
Yeah. So a person might think that it shouldn't make a difference. Kamash Malan, it makes a difference. Let's see Rashi over here. Lishmeina dam shchita the lo machshir. It says avagav the itkush l'mayim, and even though the dam shchita is compared to water, tichsev because it says ala arat tishbechenu kamayim, spill it on the ground like water. I would have thought to say dama mace, the blood of an animal that just dies is adivluhu. Kedam chalal, I should say it's like the animal that is murdered by someone else. Demali katlaihu. What's the difference if a random person came and hunted this animal? Kula about right, and what's the difference if the malachamaves, some random angel? So wait a second. Animals are also killed by the Malachim Aves. So, the Dam Chalalim, the Dam Shrita is not called Halal. But when the animal is properly shechted, it is not called blood of a corpse. It's called blood of a shechted, of a zavuach. Says the Gemara. Okay, so it turns out there is a difference. If the animal just dies, me'elah, just dies from himself, killed by the angel of death, verse if some random person kills them. The animal just dies by itself, his blood is not metame, not machshir, I mean. His blood is not machshir. If his blood falls on an apple that's detached from a tree, doesn't make it susceptible to be mekabel tuma. But if someone killed the animal and his blood splashes out, and he's Tashma, come in here, listen. Rabbi Shimon says, Da magafaso, the blood of his magafa. What does this say? Lashon ben tigof be'eben raglecha kolomar dam magas behema. So it's not a boot, but it's getting booted by an animal. Oh, magafaso, what if the animal, what if the animal gores, or the animal pushes and gets some blood on it? What if Ari, and we're back. What if the Ari, what if the lion animal that he made bleed, Eino Machshir, does not make the, does make is that Dam Shchita is Machshir? No. The inference is that dam chalalim, an animal that is murdered by a human, is machshir. Aval dam shchita, but dam shchita, my lo machshir. Dam shchita is not machshir. Okay, so teach me dam shchita, and then I know that dam agafaso, the animal that the animal kills, is is not mitame. If the shchita is not mitame, it's no dam agafaso. We needed to teach us that separately. Sagadai Dechamina, I would have thought to say Mali Katle Kula, Mali Katle Balgo. What's the difference? He killed him a little bit, he killed him a lot. Eno Machshir, the low Mikri, Mashke, Eladam Chalalim. Blood, the only blood that is of someone who is killed, an animal who's killed. Okay,
Not shechted.
killed, like hunted,
Hunt, not shechted.
not shechted.
Got
You say he's also killed in a shechted. No, says Rashi. It's not considered that he's killed. It's considered that he's shechted. It's not considered a corpse. So I might think, what's the difference if you get a little blood, you get a lot of blood? No, the answer is there is a difference. And so the Gemara says, okay, fine. Umay shna, 4 lines from the bottom. It makes kosher, that it's machshir, it makes the animal kosher to become tuma. It says the blood of the corpses, Yishted, drink it. They drink. Now, who says that?
you.
Bilam, blood drinker in chief. You know, and all of the eye guy, Krum, pedophilia stuff connected with it. The show iCarly.
I heard of it.
So Tashma, Maishna. What's the difference? Dam chalalim, because it says, oh, it's compared to water. Ala aretz ishbachenu kemayim, on the ground, spill it out like vaser. Hahu lemishrei daman depizule amukdashim behanahu. That's to permit the blood of the pesule amukdashin in hana. Zag Rashi la'achar sheniftu, after you were podeh. Right after a person did a bad shchita, he messed up. Oh, really? You're not allowed to use your fingernail to do a shchita's behema? Whoops. Okay, so now he has to like buy it back or something.
Advanced Malika.
Yeah, advanced Malika. This is not Malika, this is Nilika. It's better. Much better. So just like water is mutter be'ana, also the blood of Azulay Mukdashin is mutter be'ana. What are you going to do? I love blood. That's what he says. He says, according to my calculations, the island boys are the most delicate. And so he says, what are they going to do? What are they going to do with this blood using it for Hana? God, her last name Epstein could have been just a name that he took, just like a famous Jewish last name. You know what his last name really might have been? Jackson. As in the guy on the $20 bill. Look, Shemai, we're going to sell it to him. So what are you going to do with the blood? Mutter b'hana. What are you? The high grudge from Mukdashin Mukmina Levi Sifri. They established that what it's actually talking about is Mukdashin. That's what it's saying Sifri.
Since.
Nice! Da 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 ho will mean sins. Da 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 ho will mean sins. Will ve'asiri begiza ve'avoda. They sins, I can't shear them and take their wool. He sneezed and his nose fell off, and now I can't bring it as a korban. So at least I can like use it to like pull my thing. No, but I can't use it. It's avoda. You can't use it to do work. Tichsiv tizbach. You know, like that's what they learn in the second parak of Bechoros. So you would have need to be buried. Shout out Barry Klein. Barry Klein. Rabbi Ishmael tells us in a baraisa in his house. He says V'dam chol yishna. And they drink the blood of the slain. Prat l'dam kiluach she'eno machshir es Azraim. It is to the exclusion of the blood kiluach. What's blood kiluach? Okay, squirting out. I have another question. That is the answer. But I have another question. Who knows how to say shower in modern Hebrew? Ah! Same word, right? Dam kiluach.
Where we see kiluach in the Rashi?
Third word, last word on the line, kiluach. Third line. You're welcome. It says, Hamagis as a behema, someone who, I don't know, slits the behema, bitachila, drips out one drip or two drips, the achar, and then, I want to see that. You do not want to see that, except in the animal, I guess. And they teach there. By the way, we will see this. We will see Behemoth Daka Shechted next week. I'm just putting it out there in the manifesting in the Vel to next week, possibly a Rosh Chodesh trip to Eliyahu Navi's hometown.
Amazing.
Of the Shomron to see a Shrita Al Grizin, and maybe see some Shrita, learn, maybe meet some Samaritans. We'll see if they're good Samaritans or if they're bad Samaritans. Something tells me they'll be good Samaritans, but you never know. Ayakiz was the blood of Hikaz, the blood that's like coming out. Is that the nefesh goes with it? What's the blood that the soul goes with it? Oh, baby. So what is the da'izu dam ikish nefesh yotzabo? Mitipa hamashcheres ve'elach. Wow. It's after the shower, the spritz. It's from the first drop of the black blood. Dam kiluach lo havidam nefesh, but the blood that's like spritzing out, that's shooting out like a Quentin Tarantino movie, that is not considered dam nefesh. Quentin Tarantino, he was a famous.
He doesn't tell Lee Tarantino. We gotta get in touch with that guy.
Quentin Tarantino. Okay. Dam shiluach. Kiluach. So dam kiluach, since the blood doesn't go out with it, the neck doesn't go out with it, the soul doesn't go out with me. And the dam kiluach is like, no, I only go out with dam shan nefesh. The dam kiluach does not make the seeds mitame. We will go weiter and start seeing a few tashmas and trying to really learn about which blood is in that. Rabbi Shimon says the shchita is what is machshir the animal, and we wanted to see, well, does blood do anything, or is it shchita and not the blood? And at what point does the blood machshir? That's what we saw today. That's all right, this is what it takes us in. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to see the Rashi, the Rambams. In Perek Yud, Ilchos Ochlin Halacha Gimel. Perek Yud, Ilchos Ochlin Halacha Gimel. Perek Yud, Ilchos Ochlin Halacha Gimel. Who remembers the Rambams? Come, let us find the words to describe him. He steigs like no. He steigs. Rambam Yud Gimel in Hilchos Tumas Eichelin. The Heilige Rambam. The Heilige Rambam. Spain is raised from. All right. Where's Tumas Eichelin? Got it. Yud Gimel, we said, okay. That is comes from Mashkin Uadama Shoses Bishashchita. So the blood that is counted amongst the liquids that will transfer a tuma, a kosher to be makabel tuma, is tahor, or the tahor animals. The blood that drips out, drip, is machshir, but the blood that showers out, that sprinkles out, not machshir. Shadayin chayimim, because at that point they're still idam makeh oladam akaza. It's the same din as blood that comes out because like you. What if he shechted and the blood spritzes on the eichlin, on the food? Inside between pipe and pipe, maybe. How is this suffix? The suffix, we don't know if this is the blood that the animal was still alive during. Lefichach, tolin alav lo ochlin v'lo sorfin. So we don't eat it because maybe it gets spritzed out, gets touched, gets wet with the blood. Damakaza shel adam shehotzio l'shtia. So blood that a person lets, people used to let their blood out as a healing principle. Nowadays, if you do it, they'll lock you up. And I do not suggest it. But just like a lot of the healing principles talked about in the Gemara, we actually don't know if it actually might be something good. I don't know. So the Dama Gaza that he took it out for drinking, what? Aval im hotzi l'refua tahor ve'eno machshir. Shlomo,
Yes,
an important question, job,
yes.
request. Can you get me the Rambam in Hilchos Tumas Ochlin, please? I did say at the beginning of this Masechta that we're going to learn about blood at the right time. And that was the right time, I guess. So, if you take the blood out to drink, if human blood to drink, it is mitame. Oh, and what's the reason? A person that will take that takes the blood falls on the seeds, so he wanted that blood. But if he takes his blood out, just shalom aleichem. It's okay. If a person please join. If a person takes out his blood, and the intention is he's taking out his blood, please join us also. And the intention is that the person takes his blood
To
out.
purify life.
Right, he takes qua blood. He just wants it out of him. And since he wants the blood out of his body, so he doesn't want the blood, and so it falls on the Zera, it's not mukhshar. Shlik, can we also get a Gemara for this Halagiyid, please?
Of course. Please, it's okay.
Everything at the right time.
It's Torah Shabbat Ben, no?
That is true. He is right. He is correct. This is Torah Shabbat Ben. V'chein dam shchita bebehema. And also, it's the dam shchita bebehema. We say there's 3 different categories of the blood. Could it be? The animal, right? The animal dies. Naturally, that's called dam mace. And the blood has its own category. It's called dam shchita. It's called dam shchita. V'chi dam shchita v'im halecha v'im harei. So what about the blood of this animal that comes out while it is urinating or defecating? The blood of leprosy. What if the animal has a little leprosy and blood comes out of it? What's the status of that blood? V'tamtzis al-basar. Tamtzis al-basar. And it also doesn't make something kosher to be makabel toma. Ela harein kishar me peros. Those bloods we consider them fruit juice. Vitam asheretz kibisaro. And the blood of a creepy crawler is like he becomes a rishon l'tuma because the sheretz itself is an avatoma. But if and spills it on some fruit, doesn't make it kosher to be mekabel tuma. Guts of a sheretz is now on it.
Do we need Hilchos Tumas Eichlin?
Yes,
Which
please.
which
Yud Gimel, please. We've been talking about Tuma and Tara for days now, or Yerushalmi on Taros. So Taros, like we got our Mishnah and we got our Tosefta. And the Rambam seems to say that if you're trying to get the blood out, the human blood to drink, and we're like, wait a second, what are we dealing with the UN over here? What are we dealing with the Vatican? What? Oh, wait a second, it's Pope Leo gonna make a feature here. We're talking about drinking esoteric. They have esoteric and they have exoteric. What they tell people is that they're worshiping Jesus, the Son, but what we know is that they're worshiping Mithros, the Son, the Shem. Okay. Zag the Heilige Rambam. What is he talking about? He's taking out blood to drink it. Ayotze imalichem. Wait a second. Adam amanoi imamashkin. Because it's a thing to be able to be mikabel tuma. And the rest of the things, we just call them fruit juice. Mayperos. Not medame, not machshir. Okay, so the dam that we're talking about, that the blood that is machshir, is dam that spills out at the time of a shchita of an animal, behemachaya and oath, a pure, like just regular blood that is getting let out of it. Hashoche is v'nitas dam. Hashoche v'nitas dam ha'ochlim. Todos adam dam hakaza shel adam shehotziu l'shtia. So we talk about, right? But also it's the water that comes from the ayin, from the water, feces, the adam mashkinain. Bein sheyatzu l'dait tosha adam. If it comes out of a person, it's mashkin also. It's considered water. So that was taken out for drinking, but not if it was taken out for refuah. That's dam. Perik shochet sam kita azik ribel lazer tolotas dam ad areim kechelev. Okay, discuss his intention that he wants to drink. That's true, but what was his intention when he got Rambam? Talking about if that was the intention, so then that blood can be mikabel, could be machshir, something to that blood can be mikabel, could be machshir, something to mikabel tuma. Shkaya. Shkaya with that Heilige Rambam. Okay. Now tomorrow we're gonna go weiter. Blood, more blood. For the last, I want to say like 8 or 9 shiurim, we're just talking about levels of blood. And go right there in the blood sugya. Which blood is machshir the zrayim? We should be zayit Hashem. Tomorrow is gonna be an afternoon seder. Door. That is clock. That is clock. Clock do one and clock good clock. Oh, if it's a reals. Oh, if it's a Torah. Torah Vili. Oh, if it's a Torah. Torah Vili Day. Anova. Yes, amazing. Echabam.